Hey everybody, welcome to the episode 1 of the Everyday Brown podcast. I'm Jamar Dunson, and here we're going to be talking about mostly the Browns. NFL season started last week, so we're about to, we're in week 2 of the regular season. But occasionally I might bring up other topics like wrestling, other topics like that, maybe we're dealing with sports. But since football season's back, we're going to talk about football. So, of course, before we get into the Browns and Jets next Monday, let's talk about what happened last week with the Browns game against the Tennessee Titans, if you want to call it that. I didn't see the game personally. I listened to it on the radio, and I can say I'm glad I didn't watch that game because after Baker's second interception, I probably would have threw my phone across the room and cut the TV off. Like, it was bad. It was 41-13 and 43-13. Lost by 30 points and blew out at home in Cleveland. It was probably the most Brownsy game ever in quite some time. I guess well, probably Brown standards from 0-16 2 years ago under Hugh Jackson. And let's get into what went wrong with that game. First thing was penalties. Man, Hugh Jackson was not a good head coach for Cleveland, but his team never had that many penalties. 18 penalties with 158 yards, like the most penalties I think since 1951 for a Browns team in a Browns game. That is inexcusable. I know Freddie Kitchens is a first-year head coach. I know it's his first time doing this. I know he has a good rapport with Baker. Everybody likes him, and it's a new start. He's a rookie. He's a head coach. He doesn't have experience in it, but that's still inexcusable. Like, that just showed that the team as a whole, they weren't ready for the Titans. They weren't prepared. I don't know if it was the whole offseason hype that happened with the media, with the Browns players themselves, and with us as fans. But in a way, I think that was a good thing that we got the dog crap beat out of us because, now we got that ugly loss out of the way. Hopefully we can not have any loss like that for the rest of the season, and we can get back on track with this Week 2 game against a Jets team that also in their own right had a Jetsy game. They dominated the Buffalo Bills. I think they were 16-0 in the fourth quarter. But then, stuff happened. C.J. Mosley exited the game with an injury. And they could not stop Josh Allen in the Bills' passing game. I think John Brown had 123 yards passing. Receiving against the New York Jets. And this is Josh Allen passing the ball. Josh Allen, strong arm, fast, athletic. But unlike Baker, he's not known for his accuracy and he's not known for his decision-making in clutch situations. So he's kind of in the vein of Lamar Jackson in a way. Can throw the ball deep and can run. Accuracy, I don't know about that. So Baker Mayfield's have a pretty solid game against the Jets. They only sacked Josh Allen once, so they couldn't get to the quarterback. And we all know Greg Williams' defense since he coached in Cleveland for 2-3 years. If he can't get pressure on the quarterback, that secondary and the linebacking core in the middle is going to be wide open to get, passes completed. So that's a good thing for the Cleveland Browns. But for us, our main thing is one word and one word only: discipline. Because the Browns didn't show any discipline last week at all. It was bad. Greg Robinson got kicked out of the game literally for kicking one of the Titans players in the face mask. Who are you, Albert Haynesworth Jr.? What are you doing? Come on, man. I got time for that. I heard it on the radio and they said he was ejected. I'm like, well, good. It sucks for our LT position, which was already weak to begin with, but good, he already got the game. And the second guy, I think his last name was Lamb or something like that. I forgot his first name. I know his last name was Lamb. He got injured. 5 plays in, he was hurt. I'm like, oh my God. So Chris Hubbard had to shift over to play left tackle position. Baker got landed on his back 5 times. I think he got his wrist hurt in the game. Luckily for us, it wasn't sprained, it wasn't cracked, and it wasn't broken. It was just, I had a bruise on it. He had to put, a wrist guard on, I think, for a few days. Now it's better. It's healed. So he'll be in there. He'll be ready for next Monday when they play the Jets, which will be on TV. So I'll be able to watch it this time. And if I'm out that night, I can at least watch on my phone with the NFL Network app, the Yahoo app. I can watch on my phone if I'm not at home watching it here. So I'm excited for the game. When we give a prediction for the score, I will give a prediction Browns beat the Jets, I would say 24-14. I would say it'll be close in the first half, and the Browns will pull away in the end. I would say since Sam Darnold's not playing, that limits the Jets' chances because Sam Darnold has mono. So he's going to miss multiple games according to ESPN, Yahoo Sports, Bleacher Report. He's going to miss multiple games. And Le'Veon Bell's getting his shoulder checked for soreness. So he may not even be in this game next Monday. He was like their free agent acquisition prize next to C.J. Mosley, who I don't know how he's doing because he had to go out the game in Buffalo because he was also hurt. So the Jets are facing their own, injury pool. They're all, they're kind of going through their own players on the men as well. Speaking of injured players on that team as well, Quincy Enunwa out for the rest of the season again with a neck injury. And on a side note, I'm not wishing any ill will towards the Jets. I'm not happy because of that, but that sucks because it's the second time his neck's cost him a season. Quincy Enunwa, who's a solid number 2 receiver. He's not elite, but he's not a bum either. He's not trash. He's good. He's a solid number 2. So Robbie Anderson, we can double check him. He's a speedster. I think 6'3", 185, 190, so he can run. He has blazing speed. We locked down Robbie Anderson. And if Le'Veon Bell, who's still shaking off the football rust, keep in mind he was out for an entire football season. I know he's in shape. I know he's in much better shape than me, but there's a difference between being in shape and in football shape. That goes for any athlete, no matter what you do, or how good shape you are outside the court or outside the field. Once you're on the field or back in the court, it's a whole different story. So this, I don't want to say it's going to be an easy one for the Browns because I thought that about Tennessee. I know they were good. I know they were like an above average team. I know they weren't bums. We weren't playing, Arizona or Detroit or Miami. But, I would be disappointed if we lost this game. I'd be really disappointed if the Browns lost this game. We should not lose. We shouldn't have lost Tennessee. We should not lose this game. I'm going 24-14 Cleveland at the Jets at MetLife Stadium. So I think the Browns are going to win that game 24-14. In other news, outside of football, I know that in wrestling that AEW is going to be starting soon. It's competition for WWE, which they severely needed. If any of you guys watch wrestling or follow wrestling, you know how bad WWE's been in recent years, apart from NXT. And occasionally SmackDown. Raw's consistently awful. They have a few good shows, like 2-3 out of the year, which is not good for the main wrestling show in, just mainstream culture. So I think AEW coming is going to be a great thing for wrestling as a whole. Competition breeds success. It's going to make Vince McMahon, Triple H, Shane McMahon, just the whole empire of WWE raise their game up. Because we know that Cody Rhodes, Khan, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Y2J, Chris Jericho, and what's that guy's name? John Moxley. We know that they're going to come with their A game and they're going to be ready to take over the mainstream, with wrestling. Now, are they going to replace WWE right now? No. Wrestling, WWE, they're not going anywhere. But would it be a great alternative? And are they going to turn some heads? Absolutely. I think this would be a great thing for wrestling. But I'll go more into that in another video. I said I was going to make a little quick, 9-10 minute video. Nothing too deep. I just wanted to really just go over the Browns and Jets, what happened with their games last time, how they might do in this game, and, who's going to win, which I'm going to say it's going to be the Brownies. Hopefully it will be. But, yeah, that's all I have for the first episode of Everyday Brown Podcast. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, my name is Jamar Dunson, and I will see you guys next time, and go Browns.